and most of you know me because we're in the same group chat on Snapchat. Today, my case study is about the invisible mental load on motherhood. Now, this was an intense study, and I learned a lot of information, more than I expected, because I felt like I was the only mother on this world that was feeling the invisible load, day in, day out, throughout the nights. Now, I bet you did not know that 9.8 million women in the United States who are working moms feel this invisible load day in and day out. It's the unnoticed and the unpaid labor that they do behind the scenes. Now, who has heard of TikTok?
Heard of it?
Now, I love TikTok because a lot of people like to vent on TikTok, and I'm usually watching the ones of the moms who want to talk about the mental load because I can relate to them. So I have a couple of videos for you to show you what other mothers in the United States are going through.
Do you know why moms and wives are so tired? Because we carry the load of information for our families. We know what's in the fridge for dinner. We know the birthdays, the social security numbers, what the friends like, what the theme of the party is, what our children are emotionally communicating to us through their actions. We know what our husband wants and what he needs, and we're praying for him. We know that the dishes need done and that the towels haven't been put in the dryer yet. We know that the dog has an ear infection. We know that the dogs haven't eaten dinner yet. We know that the floor hasn't been vacuumed in 2 days. We know all the things, and we're tired of being the ones to know all the things. It is so precious that children and husbands help their wives, it really is. Sometimes the biggest burden that can be lifted is for people to do things without being asked. That mental load is heavy, man.
I'm tired of giving my all and never being enough. I'm tired of changing for people who don't even recognize my change. I'm tired of crying myself to sleep at night and waking up in the morning and not recognizing myself. I'm tired of not being thin enough or pretty enough. I'm tired of not being enough.
Being a mother while trying to repair yourself mentally and emotionally is the hardest thing to ever take on.
Here's what guys need to know about the invisible load of motherhood. The load isn't simply busyness, it's the mental burden of managing the complexities of life. Generally, women are better socialized to think about kids, family, home, etc. So when they have that plus job, plus everything they're involved in, it becomes very taxing. Men are sometimes oblivious to this and need to make deliberate, cognizant steps to be more aware.
Turn it off.
Now, some people might think the mental load is housework. Is it really housework? It's not. And it's because there is no time where it starts and where it ends. It's 24/7. It is a clock that never ends. Especially when a mother is going out. She drops off her kids to school. Now say she's going to work. She has a million things on her mind in between, from dropping off her kids, picking them up. Mothers are also losing sleep at night because they have this ongoing list. And most people don't know about it because it's invisible. Now, moms have to be everything to everybody, right? Well, my kids think I need to be everything to them. And today, I'm just going to show you just a few roles that mothers play. Now, a mom, she is a chef. She cooks meals. She cleans the house. She does your laundry. And does anybody need to tell a mom to do any of that? No. Moms just do it. But what about if you're not a stay-at-home mom? You're that working mom with that 8 to 5. That's another hat you have to wear, right? What about moms being a travel agent? Ever think about that? They have to decide, are we taking the boat out this weekend? Do we have enough life jackets? Or what about we take our camper? Let's go camping instead, because hotels are expensive. But is it a safe place to go camping? Or we just go to the beach? But the thing is, if we go to the beach, how's the weather? Is it a good spot for the kids so they don't drown or get sucked up in the waves? Moms are the taxi drivers. They drive the kids everywhere, to school, to games, to doctor's appointments, to friend's house. Anywhere these kids want to go, that's where the mom's driving. But what if your mom is against the mandate and she's protesting that no vaccine be given to your child? Or what if she's protesting, yes, my child needs the vaccine to be in school? What if you have a teenager son who is in football? You got to make sure he's at practice 4 days a week. You also have to make sure his games, and you're his cheerleader. No matter who else is out there, you're the only one that matters because you were his cheerleader. And that's in the fall. But in the springtime, now you're that softball mom. You got to make sure that you go to both of her games during the week. Because if you don't, she's going to be heartbroken. And you're also bringing the drinks for the team. And why would you do that? Because you notice that they're going to their games, right? And it's so hot. And no parents bring them anything to drink. Because other parents are thinking, oh yeah, they'll just get water from the fountain. But then there's that one mom that brings that ice chest filled with 0 Gatorades and waters. Now, when the week's over, what are they doing on the weekend? They're coaching soccer. Do you know how hard it is to coach little 4 and 5-year-olds? And when you're done coaching that team, you're going to watch your other children who are playing soccer and your other children who are reffing, and you got to make sure that times come together. What holiday is coming up? Who is going to be Mrs. Claus and the elves? Because now you got to make sure that your children have gifts under the tree. And these are just some of the hats some mothers wear. But if you combine all of these together, mom is the captain of the ship. Don't you think? Because
Yes,
she's doing everything. So according to my case study that was published January 22nd of 2019, talking about the captain of the ship, could one person read this for me?
Okay. There is a potentially important aspect of mother's household work that has not been adequately captured in the U.S. National Demographic Surveys thus far. The burden of being the captain of the ship who is managing the household. This burden reflects the mental and emotional labor inherent to being the primary manager of a household labor that often precedes the routine, physical work of maintaining the household.
Thank you. And according to the same article, in 2003 until 2017, there were moms, educated moms, working moms, who felt like they invested 130% of their time on their children. And that's like outside activities. Now, in 1993 to 2008, the educated moms spent up to 20.5 hours a week on outside activities, not including what's going on in the house. Uneducated mothers spend about 10.5 hours, and fathers spend about 6 hours a week.
Wow.
A week, six hours a week. I mean, I could do 6 hours in a day. Now, the big question is, what is the difference between this mom, this project manager, and the captain of the ship? Can anyone tell me? What's the one difference? Because what a mom does is the same as these two combined. So can anyone answer what the difference is? Yes.
No kids?
What was that?
No kids?
Could be, but the difference is moms don't get paid. And in Merced County, the project manager makes between $7,800 to $9,500 a month full time. Now that's an 8 to 5 job. Moms don't work 8 to 5s. Moms work 24/7. They work around the clock. And a captain of the ship in San Francisco makes between $4,000 to $5,000. Now that's just mind blowing. Mothers should be making that, but they don't. Now, according to Bright Horizon, 72% of working women, feel that they need to stay on top of their kids' schedule, right? But only 52 out of the 72 feel the burnout. While a study on today's parents, 83% of mothers are feeling the burnout. Both of these were taken into 2020. Now, I would assume the numbers would have been higher with COVID and everything. So these numbers really did surprise me. The negative effects lead to burnout, rage, anxiety, overwhelm, exhaustion. And the thing is, people think, oh, well, she has postpartum. Well, does anybody know what postpartum is? Is there any other side effects? Now, there is 4 different types of depression. The prenatal, which is during the pregnancy. The baby blues, a few weeks after you have your child. Postpartum, a few months after. And there is depression. I mean, you might suffer with depression. You might suffer with depression. But women do suffer with depression. Now, think about suffering with the depression and the mental overload that's invisible. Combine those together. Now, this is what many mothers, or yourself, could be feeling. And I have been a mom for almost 16 years. And I could say at different phases in my own life, I have felt every single one of these. And it doesn't mean that I don't love my kids. Because I do, that's why I have so many. But it all depends on what's going on, especially what if you have a chemical imbalance. But the most important thing is, I am not a medical professional. So if you feel anything that was shown in the slide before, please go see your doctor and talk to them about it. There's ways to ease the anxiety, the depression, the overwhelming feeling, but that needs to be discussed between you and your doctor. And don't say, oh, Stacy said I need to take medication, because no. Now, the big question I have is, what do you see on this post-it? Anybody?
Sticking up.
You don't see nothing? Why don't you see it? Why don't you see my list? Because it's invisible. My list that I deal with, just like the 98 million women in the United States, is invisible. And so, to me, this is the brain of a mom. Do you hear that?
Oh, yeah.
It's all of these. The 24/7, the non-stopping. And it gets to be so much,
Ooh.
she explodes. And then what? What happens? The family said, you should have had asked for help. Should moms need to ask for help? Can't you see her daily struggles? And even when a mom asks for help, say, hey, can you do the laundry? What do some people do? The partner of the child, yeah, throws it in the wash, and it stays there all day long. Then the mom, but what do moms think? Laundry. Let's throw it in the wash, let's throw it in the dryer, let's take it out, fold it, let's start the next load. Let's make sure everyone has clothes for the remainder of the week. But do partners and children see that? Now here's 4 great things you could do before you get to that burnout. It's a support system. It's always good to have someone to talk to. Express how you feel, because they may be experiencing the same thing that you're doing. Manage your expectations and be realistic. No one has superpowers. We're all humans. We have to be realistic. Creating a routine is very important. Makes your day balanced. And limit your multitasking. Now say, with all these 4, you still do not know how to do any of those, and you are burnt out to the max. In 1973, 48 years ago, in Denver, a group of moms got together to talk about life, to talk about children. And this group has expanded. And did you know that there is a MOPS in Merced? Now, they meet up twice a month during the school year. It's the first Thursday and the third Thursday of every month. It's from 9 to 11:30. And there is child care. So it's nice. Moms get a little break. Someone else is watching the kids, right? And then moms get together and then they talk. And then while they're talking, they get to vent and experience things. And you could be a stepmom, a soon-to-be mom, and usually it's from infant until 5, and the kids go to school. But they have extended their program where they have school-age children. I personally attended MOPS when I was pregnant with my third, and it was a great support system. When I was pregnant with my third, I had to move back to this area. I was living in Brookings, Oregon. Healthcare wasn't the best, so my husband and I decided I need to be here. Especially I had very quick labors. If I had my child up there, I would have her on the side of the road. Funny story is, I almost did have her on the side of the road here in Merced in my best friend's car. That is how quick I have kids. So, but I attended MOPS, mothers of preschool age students. And it was amazing to have somebody because now I am pregnant with my third. I'm feeling overwhelmed. My husband's up north working at Pelican Bay. I'm down here. My family wasn't as supportive. And it was nice to get to be around a group of people that understood what I was feeling. And it's great to know that MOPS is even in Canada, and I read that it's even in 19 other countries, which I'm not sure which ones, but they are. Now, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who came tonight to watch my presentation. If you have any questions, right now would be the best time to ask.
I like that. His answer's maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I was thinking, when you were saying that at the end about, the kids and the husband, blah, blah. But if children are taught responsibility early on, right?
Yes.
And that it's not, I never understood why children end up just hating school. I mean, it's so engaging.
Exactly.
Right? And I've never understood why young children get to slide on by and then they turn into brats, and it's like, and it's like, we're the ones that create that and then we gripe about it. So I think that responsibility that is learned early on and learned in a positive way might be a little help.
Yes. Well, luckily, my oldest, he's 15. You don't have to tell him to do any chores. He knows, he doesn't. My 13-year-old knows, but pretends that she doesn't. So, I mean,
yeah,
you could teach a child, but sometimes, depending on their personality, they might be like, they might like a sloppy room and don't understand why mom says, let's tidy up. Because they work better in that mess, while I personally can.
You brought up support groups, and it's been my experience that there are so many people who, no matter what you're going through or feeling or what have you, there are support groups. It's just where you get to be with people who are in the same place that you're at. And I think that's so important, especially at this point in time in everyone's life. There's a tendency, now with COVID, it's kind of embedded isolation, right? I'm just now regaining, I went to one Christmas party, which I wouldn't have. It's like, but, okay, one Christmas party, I have another one coming up. That feels good, re-engaging in life. And so the support groups really are effective. There's no commitment, it's just, yeah, I would recommend support groups. And then are there online platforms?
Well, on Facebook, there is a group called Mama Bears of Atwater. And
Oh.
there's lots of moms on that group, and we all communicate. A mom will ask for advice
Uh-huh.
or share her experience, and other mothers that's a lot of Atwater moms have connected that way because of social media. Everyone's on social media.
Yeah.
And especially moms, they just need that little break from the reality, and they grab their phone and they're just scrolling. And
Do they help each other? Like if you need someone to watch your child, can you get in touch with one of them?
mothers have asked. I'm also in the Turlock moms groups, and they're asking for like recommendations on babysitters, and I don't trust many people with my kids.
Yeah, that's why.
So I personally wouldn't ask. I'm very very picky on who watches my kids, especially my youngest, who's has a lot of energy, but mothers do ask if they need that breaks. I babysitted for my friends. Like when my friends, I know my friends need time to go just even get a pedicure. I say, bring the kids over. I have a huge backyard. They can play with the dogs, play with my kids. It's not an inconvenience. So if anyone here has kids, bring them to my house. I have a really big backyard and lots of pets for them to play with.
Questions, people? Comments?
Yes.
Oh, I really liked how you put all the different hats on.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I thought it was really like touching because when I think of my mom, I don't think like, I used to think, oh, she stays at home. Oh, she could definitely do this for me. Oh, but I didn't realize how much she had on her plate. And I went, dang. Like it made me reflect a little bit and went, wow, my mom really has done a lot for me. And you did that for me, so thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that was. Oh, go ahead.
Do you want me to record the questions too?
Oh, it doesn't matter.